Welcome into Golden State Warriors. Today, I am Harrison Graham from Chat Sports, and the preseason is here, which means on today's show, we're going to break down 5 keys to watch during the preseason. For Dub Nation, basketball is back, and I, for one, am fired up, which means, hey, shout-outs are back as well. So stay tuned for later on in the show on how you could get a shout-out on our next episode of Warriors Today. Don't get anywhere. Subscribe and join us later in the episode. We'll give you guys some shout-outs on a future show. All right, here is the preseason schedule. They've already played a couple of games out in Tokyo, both which were wins over the Washington Wizards. Their next time in action on October 9th against the Lakers, the 11th against the Trailblazers, and then as well against the Denver Nuggets. That should be fun, and it will be a good time to see how some of the younger guys look, because I think the Warriors will take it pretty easy in the preseason. I don't think we're going to see heavy minutes from the key guys, Steph, Draymond. Obviously, this team is coming off a championship, which means they played a lot of extra games, and a lot of your key players are older. So I don't think you're going to see Steph Curry play 35 minutes per game during the preseason. So we'll see how much, if at all, they do play, but there's still plenty to watch out for, especially with the young pieces on this roster for Golden State. Now, will the Warriors repeat as NBA champions this year? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I know ESPN threw out there that this could be the 8th seed in the West. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? That's a garbage take. Y for yes, in for no. Will Golden State repeat as NBA champions? All right, what to watch for? Klay's preseason debut. Are we going to see him play in the preseason? Obviously, the last 2 or 3 years, he hasn't played in the preseason at all because he hasn't played much at all. But he returned last year, obviously was a big part of the championship for Golden State. He did not play in the games out in Japan after not scrimmaging all summer. They're still managing his usage rate and all of that stuff, coming back from a couple of major injuries. Last year, I thought he was tremendous in the postseason, really kind of got his footing. I thought during the regular season he still looked a step slow, looked like a guy who hadn't played in 2 years, but in the playoffs, 19 points, shot the ball well from the outside. I thought the defense improved as well. I don't know if we'll ever get back to him being a lockdown defender, but he was above average in the playoffs, and I think with his shooting ability, that's all you can really ask for Klay Thompson at this point in time. So we'll see if he plays in one of these final 3 preseason games, and if he does, how fresh he looks. Subscribe to Warriors Today, because we'll hit you with the latest Warriors rumors, news, trade buzz all season long as this team goes for championship number 5 of this era of Warriors basketball. So hit that sub button. The link is down below. It's youtube.com/WarriorsTV. Will James Wiseman be full go? I mean, we've been waiting. James Wiseman, let's go. Can we see peak James Wiseman? I mean, if this guy contributes at all this year, this team is going to be tough to beat. We got to see him play in Japan, which was nice, and had a really nice first game as he dropped 20 points and 9 rebounds. He had 8 and 11 in the 8 of 11, on that in that first game, and then he was 2 of 7 in the second game. Wasn't quite as effective, but James Wiseman, good to see him, run the floor a little bit, threw out a dunk or two over there as well, blocked a couple shots. Obviously, one game better than the other, but just good to see him get these reps, because we want to see if this former number 2 pick can pay off for this Warriors team. Hopefully, we get to see more of that in the preseason. He's a guy, I think he's my number 1 guy to watch during the preseason, because we're all excited to see what he can contribute. How about Jordan Poole? Is he going to sign an extension before opening night? He is eligible to sign a max extension. They have until October 17th to agree to a new deal, with the season opener starting on the 18th. I like Jordan Poole a lot. I think that he is a core piece moving forward. He's not going to be as efficient as a Steph Curry, but he's got that type of game where he's flashy as a ball handler. He's got the step back. He can shoot from anywhere on the floor. He's got to be a part of the future. Jordan Poole has got to be a part of the future. Like, if that means letting Draymond go when his contract's up, so be it, because Jordan Poole is kind of that next era. He's the guy for that next era. That doesn't mean he'll ever be the number 1 guy, but he's a cornerstone piece for kind of the end of this last era and for the next era moving forward for Golden State basketball. I'd like to see a deal get done before the opening night. All right, BetUS, the place to go to bet on Warriors games throughout the preseason and on into the regular season as well. And you guys could do so by going to chatsports.com/bet and using our promo code CHAT125. Put down $100. They'll give you $125 to work with for free. Bet on some games. You can go bet on the NFL as well. We do have NBA title odds, and the Warriors are co-favorites to win the championship. Boston, despite losing their coach and losing to the Warriors in the finals, also co-favorites with Golden State. Obviously, the Celtics are going to be good, but the Warriors, to me, should be the favorites. I'm just not buying Brooklyn right now. We'll see what happens there. Clippers could be a team to watch out for. Kawhi is back, and he looks good. And obviously, the Milwaukee Bucks sitting there at plus 700 with Giannis leading the charge, Chris Middleton getting back and healthy. Chatsports.com/bet. That's the link to go to get going with BetUS. Use our promo code CHAT125 to get a 125% deposit bonus. Go make some money throughout the NBA season with our friends over at BetUS. All right, let's go to another thing to watch out for during the preseason. Is a year two jump, is a leap coming for Jonathan Kuminga and or Moses Moody. You would like to think so, right? We saw flashes from both these guys last year, especially Kuminga, in my opinion. Overall, Kuminga over in Japan in the 2 games, just 5.5 points per game. For Golden State, only took 3 threes, made one of them. I think that's an area to watch out for him this year. Can the three-point shot improve? We know Moody can shoot the basketball, but can he do other things consistently enough to crack this rotation on a consistent night-to-night basis? That is something I'm keeping an eye out for. 25 minutes per game for each of those guys in the preseason so far. I'd like to see those guys play a lot with James Wiseman as well. Who will have the better season this year? Type JK for Jonathan Kuminga, type MM for Moses Moody. Who do you think is going to be a bigger factor this year? I just think Kuminga has more to his game overall. I think Moody's the better, just marksman and probably pure scorer, but I'm going to go JK. Let me know what you guys think. All right, the other young guys. There's other young pieces on this roster for Golden State looking to leave their mark and play a role on this team. It's going to be tough. It's a deep roster, but Patrick Baldwin Jr., Ryan Rollins, Lester Quinones, guys trying to be in this rotation moving forward. Baldwin and Rollins, obviously, draft picks there. We want to see what they're able to do for this basketball team. Baldwin's insanely talented. He was a huge high school recruit, decided to stay home and go to the University of Milwaukee, but we'll see what he's able to do at the NBA level. This is when you evaluate guys like that, and I don't want to say meaningless, but games that don't count against you here in the preseason. So we'll see what happens here. Title odds one more time here. Warriors co-favorites with the Celtics at plus 600, Nets and Clippers at plus 650, and then the Bucks at plus 700 as well. All right, there you have it. Some things to keep an eye on during the NBA preseason for Golden State as we have 3 more games to go. I promised you guys there was a way to get a shout-out on our next show. So, hey, you made it to the end of the video. Here's what you got to do. The first 10 people that type real one, so start doing it. First 10 comments of real one get a shout-out on our next video. I am your host, Harrison Graham. We'll see you next time on Warriors Today.